Welcome to our Sacred Symmetry series.
Great to be here. Now, just a quick note for anyone maybe jumping in here, if terms like chiastic structures, those literary mirror patterns.
Where ideas reflect around a central point.
Exactly. Or our cross-validation methodology. If those are new, we really do recommend checking out episodes 1 and 2 first. They set the stage.
Last time, we really got into the personal transformation centers in 2nd Nephi, didn't we? That sort of individual awakening needed for the doctrine of Christ.
We did. And today, we're kind of zooming out to complete our look at this amazing book. We're focusing on the external architecture, the covenant and restoration centers. Our mission really is to see how promises made way back to ancient patriarchs are actually structured right here in the text, and how that structure shows their powerful, very specific fulfillment later on in modern revelation. So let's start with a really big example. Lehi's final patriarchal blessing. This covers 2nd Nephi chapters 1 all the way through 5.
That's a huge section.
It is. And if you map out that whole complex structure, the core, well, it isn't a warning about politics or even the land promise, surprisingly.
That feels a bit counterintuitive. I think I would have guessed the center of Lehi's final talk was, the conditional land covenant they were about to get. Why something else?
Yeah, it's a common thought. But structurally, it's pure theology. The absolute center focuses directly on the fall and the atonement, the very heart of the plan of salvation.
Wow.
It declares, Adam fell that men might be, and men are, that they might have joy. You find that right in 2nd Nephi chapter 2.
Yeah.
So the structure itself is telling you that the entire plan, fall, atonement, agency, joy, that's the foundational covenant Lehi was establishing.
Okay, that makes the land promise almost secondary then to the core doctrine, which I guess connects perfectly to the next structure you found. The conditional nature of that land promise covenant in 2nd Nephi chapter 1.
Precisely.
The land is choice, yes, but there's a big if attached.
There is, and the symmetry really hammers this home. If you look closely at Lehi's declaration about the land, the proposed chiastic center is the consequence of disobedience. But inasmuch as ye will not keep the commandments of God, ye shall be cut off from his presence. That's in 2nd Nephi chapter 1, verse 5.
Because the land is consecrated, it's holy ground.
Yes, but that safety, that blessing, it's entirely dependent on your faithfulness, your actions.
Okay, so if the covenant relies on these divine promises, then we need to see them fulfilled. Which brings us to Joseph's prophecy in 2nd Nephi chapter 3.
Exactly.
Where Joseph of Egypt foretells the coming of a latter-day seer, Joseph Smith.
Right. And the pattern here ensures there's really no mistaking who this promised person is, the structural center of that prophecy. It zeroes right in on the seer's identity and his naming. It confirms the covenant promise would stretch across millennia, and thus prophesied Joseph, saying, Behold, that seer will the Lord bless, and his name shall be called after me, and it shall be after the name of his father.
So it connects the ancient name to the modern prophet.
It's an undeniable detail, linking the ancient patriarchal name directly to the modern prophet. It's quite powerful when you see it laid out.
And that kind of continuity, spanning thousands of years, it really requires divine power, which I suppose brings us neatly to the famous sealed book prophecy about the Book of Mormon coming forth. That's detailed in 2nd Nephi chapter 27.
It does. Nephi shows us this period of great spiritual darkness and then the failure of the, quote, learned man to read the sealed book.
Right, the scholar who says, I cannot read a sealed book.
Exactly. And the whole structural pattern there, the darkness, the book being sealed, the human inability, it feels like it's all designed to set up one central, really powerful declaration.
So after highlighting all this human limitation, what does the structure reveal as the ultimate power needed for the restoration?
God just cuts through all the human expectation, all the weakness, with his absolute declaration of his own omnipotence. The core passage right there in 2nd Nephi chapter 27 is God stating plainly, I am able to do mine own work.
Wow. So right there, right at the center.
Right at the structural heart. Placing that phrase there just emphasizes that the restoration, it's achieved solely by divine power. It truly makes it a marvelous work and a wonder, as the scriptures say.
What really stands out to me is how all these centers we've discussed, the fall doctrine, the conditional land, the specific naming of Joseph Smith, and this declaration, I am able to do mine own work, they all seem to define God's ongoing eternal covenant relationship with his people.
Well, that's really the whole point of exploring sacred symmetry, isn't it? When we looked through 2nd Nephi these past few episodes, we didn't just read the content, we examined its architecture.
Yeah.
We've seen patterns pointing to God's rescue operation, to our need for individual transformation, and now, today, to prophetic fulfillment.
Well, this has been a fantastic journey through 2nd Nephi, but we're not done with the Book of Mormon yet.
Not by a long shot.
Our next episode will start our exploration of the Book of Jacob.
Looking forward to that.
But before then, here's a little homework for you, our listeners. Go back and read 2nd Nephi chapters 12 through 24 again. Those are the pivotal Isaiah chapters situated right in the heart of 2nd Nephi. As you read, keep an eye out, see what other potential structures, connections, or insights jump out at you.
Yeah, see if you can spot any patterns yourself. It's a rewarding exercise.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for joining us on Sacred Symmetry. We'll see you next time as we dive into Jacob.